Oh, the weather seems nutty today, just like me. You said to yourself, giggling as you walked towards the workplace of June Company while holding a warm cup of coffee. The atmosphere inside was always strict and professional, but you, Y, and June, the CEO's wife, had a certain aura. You were not just beautiful, you were savage in the most effortless way, the type of woman who didn't bow her head down to anyone. Inside Jungkook's private office wing, you had your own corner desk. Though you were his wife, but you worked as an executive in the company, not just sitting at home and watching TV. You hummed softly and walking towards your desk, the employees bowed at you. You gave them a warm smile before plopping down on your chair. Let's dig into it, Ryan. You said to yourself, and stretching your hands, you opened your laptop after placing the coffee on the desk. But before you could even type a single word, your best friend Zhao came to you running. You frowned looking at her. Her ID card was bouncing against her chest while her long hair was flying in all the directions. The employees looked at her. Carry on, guys, carry on. She shouted before taking a seat beside you. Bestie, hold your horses, you will slip. Zhao looked at you with her wide hazel brown eyes while catching a breath. When I saw her, you rolled your eyes, grabbing the cup of coffee. Whom, bestie? You won't believe, but she is back. You frowned. Don't play the riddles. Tell me who is back. Jessica, Jungkook's ex-girlfriend. She's back, Ryan. Hearing her name, your hand froze. The cup trembled slightly between your fingers, and for a moment you almost spilled the coffee on your blouse. Your savage mask was cracked. What? What which doing here? You said coldly, your eyes were filled. I don't know, Bestie, why she came, but I just saw her walking into Bo's cabin, and Bestie, she was smiling. She whispered, looking around. Your jaw clenched as this wave of jealousy and irritation rose inside you like fire. You set the coffee down with a hand thud. This is unbelievable. Let's see what that witch is trying to pull. You muttered, standing up from your chair while folding the sleeves of your shirt. Zhao gulped and stood up, panicking. No, Ian, don't go right away. Let's wait for a while and she said, but you were already walking with fierce steps toward Jungkook's cabin. Oh, this girl will definitely cause some big trouble. While you reached Jungkook's cabin, his PA, a nervous looking young man in glasses, stepped in front of you. Ma'am, boss is busy right now. Please, you can't. You stopped dead in front of him. You glared at him. Who are you to stop me, hmm? He muttered sorry and bowed at you. You scored, pushing him aside, and with one swift move, you pushed open the heavy glass door, and the sight inside made your blood boil. Jessica, his ex girlfriend, was sitting on the chair in front of him, talking to him as she owned the place. Her black dress was so tight fitted that it seemed beautiful. As Jungkook heard the sound of door opening, he looked up only to see his beautiful wife, all furious. Wyan? He stood up. You cut him off by hand gesturing him. Stop, I won't hear any explanation. But I was not going to give you any explanation. I just want to say that come later I am busy. Oh, you are quite busy, I see. You let out a sarcastic scoff, your savage side taking full control. With a sharp glare at him, you walked forward and threw the file you were holding onto the desk with a loud smack. The paper scattered all around. Jessica flinched, pretending to be scared. Why, before he could say another word, you turned on your heels and slamming the door shut behind you. You walked out. Everyone outside looked up, pretending to type on their computers, but clearly gossiping with their eyes. Jungkook rubbed his temple, letting out a frustrated sigh. Oops, I guess Ryan didn't like me here, but trust me, I just came here for work. I am struggling, okay? I need this job. I have a boyfriend now, and I know you have moved on too. I'm just having a hard time fulfilling my daily expenses. That's why I need this job. She said while looking down as if ashamed, her fingers fiddling with her bag while the fake tears shimmered in her eyes. Jungkook stared at her silently. He was not a fool. He knew Jessica. She was manipulative, always had been. But she had also been a part of his past, and he was not completely heartless. I'm sorry, I can't. He said coldly. Jessica started crying loudly. No, Jungkook, please don't do this to me. My mother is not doing well. I need this job to get her medicines, I promise. She pleaded, her voice was trembling. Jungkook leaned back in his chair, sighing deeply against his better judgment. His soft heart wavered. Fine, but only because of your sick mother, he said coldly. Jessica's lips curled into a hidden smirk before she quickly excused it as a relief. Thank you, Jungkook. You don't know how much this means to me, she said and stood up. She stood up straight and started to walk out with a smirk because she had not joined his company for money but to win him back. Time skipped. The clock ticked 7 o'clock. Employees backed up one by one, their tired chatter echoing faintly in the large building. Jungkook came out of his cabin and looked around. His black suit jacket hung loosely from his shoulders and his tie was slightly loosened after a long day, but your chair was empty. He frowned. That never had happened before. You were always the last one to leave, staying beside him until he wrapped up for the day. Confused, he turned towards the only person he trusted to know, your best friend Sao. Where is Ryan? He asked in a serious tone. Sao looked up and hesitated. Mr. Jungkook, she left early today. Jungkook frowned in surprise. Left early? He repeated the words under his breath as if testing them because you had never left without telling him. Something was wrong. Without wasting another second, he hurried out of the building. His expensive shoes clicked against the marble floor, and soon he was inside his black, sleek car, starting the engine. After 10 minutes of drive, he finally reached the June mansion. He stepped in and climbed the stairs 2 steps at a time. His pulse was racing with worry. He quickly pushed open the door to your shared bedroom, and the sight before him made his breath hitch. You are laying on your stomach on the king-sized bed. The soft glow of the bedside lamp highlighted the curve of your figure. Jungkook froze at the doorway. His throat went dry as he gulped down. Slowly, quietly, he walked over to you. You groaned softly, your voice muffled by the pillow. You, Mr. CEO! He blinked surprised at the rejection because you never said no to him. Why? He asked softly. You turned your head to the side, revealing your annoyed face. Because I am angry with you. Jungkook tilted his head, his brows frowned. And why my wife is angry with me? He asked softly. You didn't answer. He let out a sigh. His hand pressed onto the mattress. Now tell me, what is bothering you? He demanded, his dark eyes locking with yours. Because of that, Jessica, you spat out, Jungkook exhaled. Thank God, I think it was something serious. Excuse me, does it look like a joke to you? I didn't mean that. As far as the case of Jessica, she just came for a job, that's all. She has a boyfriend now and she is already moved on, and you remember that. You narrowed your eyes, testing him. Oh, really? Yes. He whispered, brushing a strand of hair off your face. You smirked to yourself while maintaining your angry composure. I'm tired, Ryan. Oh, you are tired, you arched up, bro. He nodded, his big doe eyes suddenly turned innocent, almost puppy like. Here, take this. This is your relief. You said, grabbing a cushion from the side of the bed and threw at him. He blinked shocked as another cushion hit him. Here, take another one. Now go. Jungkook pouted like a child. He whined his voice deep and sulky. Whine. You clicked your tongue, shaking your head, and sat up against the headboard. Don't fool me, go before I threw the blanket too. Jungkook gave you one last sad look and walked away. You giggled to yourself and lay straight on the bed. After 10 minutes, Jungkook returned dressed in comfortable sweatpants and a plain shirt. A soft smile tugged at his lips. He walked over quietly, kneeling beside you gently. He brushed away the strand of hair that had fallen across your forehead. Good night, he whispered softly. With you, he finally closed his eyes and fell into a sleep. The next morning, you sat at your desk neatly dressed in a fitted blouse and skirt. In your hand was your favorite morning drink, banana milk. You sipped from the small cotton carton as you skimmed through the files, trying to bury yourself in work, but soon your peace shattered as you heard the familiar annoying voice of Jessica. Good morning, ma'am, she said in her fake sweet voice. You groaned and glanced up to see her sitting beside your desk with leg crossed, a little smile tugging at her lips. She didn't need to say much. Her presence alone was enough to grind your nerves. You groaned softly under your breath, gripping the banana milk carton tighter. Of all the empty chairs in this office, she had to sit here. She knew you were pissed off, so to make you more pissed off, she picked up a file and walked towards Jungkook's cabin. You scoffed, looking at her before stepping inside. She glanced back at you, flashing a smirk, then entered his cabin. You clenched your teeth. The poor banana milk carton nearly burst in your hand as you squeezed it in frustration. Curiosity, however, got the best of you. After a few minutes of silence, you stood up and walked towards Jungkook's office. The glass door gave you a perfect view inside. Your eyes narrowed as the scene in front of your eyes. Jessica was leaning forward across his desk. And Jungkook, he was sitting there calmly, flipping through the pages she handed him, completely oblivious or at least pretending to be your jaw titan. You groaned quietly while rolling your eyes. Look at my dear hubby. He's just sitting there, letting it happen. Does he think I'm a fool? You marched back to your desk and threw yourself onto the chair with a huff. You muttered under your breath with nose flaring. Fine, if he thinks this is just casual, then I will do the same thing. Let's see how my hubby feels when it is his turn to burn. A smirk spread across your lips. After a while, everyone was present in the meeting room for company's boardroom meeting. Jungkook was standing at the front, tall and charismatic, giving his presentation. He was discussing quarterly growth and upcoming strategies. Everyone was focused, but your eyes were only focused on him. You smirked, leaning to Jungkook's personal assistant, who was sitting beside you while yawning. Mr. Kim, you whispered softly. The PA blinked, startled. His eyes darted nervously towards Jungkook before looking back at you. Jungkook was in the middle of explaining a chart. When he noticed you instantly, his eyes flicked towards you. His jawline tightened, which made your smirk grew wider. You are getting goals, you know. Look, two of your hair are already white. You better get married. The PA's face turned crimson, his lips pressed into a thin line. Jungkook's grip on the marker tightened. Throughout the whole meeting, his eyes remained fixed on you while his jaw was clenched. The moment everyone left, he called out in a deep, commanding tone, "Why my cabin now?" You smirked to yourself and slowly stood up. As soon as you entered his cabin with a smirk, Jungkook locked the door before you could react. He smiled. Enjoying? His voice was low and husky. You tilted your chin up, meeting his gaze. Why are you jealous? Of course I am. You smirked, not intimidated one bit. Instead, you tilted your head, locking your gaze with his. The same question lies on you too. His brows knitted in frustration. You poked your inner cheeks, your palm pressed firmly against him. I also get jealous. Do you think I enjoy watching you with Jessica? Jungkook's lips parted slightly, but it was about work, he muttered, almost defensively. Oh, really? Why don't say things like that? You didn't even flinch. If you do, then why not me? You whispered. Jungkook snapped. Two hours later, Jungkook stood up. Stay here, I will be back soon, he said and stepped out. He walked up to Jessica. Jessica, you are fired, he said in his cold, crisp tone. What? I don't repeat myself, he said while adjusting his cufflinks without sparing her a glance. The employees exchanged glances with each other while Zhao happily clapped. Jessica's eyes filled with humiliation. She cursed under her breath, throwing the file onto the nearest desk. With clenched fists, she stormed out, her heels clicking furiously. She hissed as she left the building with nose flaring. Meanwhile, Jungkook returned back to his cabin, his eyes softened when they fell on you still sitting on the sofa. Your lips curled into a victorious smile. He sighed. You drive me insane. That's what I want, you said, smiling at him.